A massive warning sign as car lots are now bursting at the seams. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows or sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So car lots bursting at the seams, so bad. The housing bubble is bad enough. The car bubble went along for the ride. The two biggest purchases people make in their life is a car first and usually a home second. And if you start to see the car market having problems, make no mistake about it, the housing market is following behind in short order. We have the super bubble that was built during stimulus, and this was all stimulus driven. This was all crisis driven. This was a bad example of unorganic growth, blamed on supply chain issues. And once it's remember, transitory, it's all transitory. Once all these supply chain kinks, iron out, everything's going to go back to normal. It didn't. We're in an inflationary war, but more than the problem of inflation, which is bad enough in and of itself, is when you have the prices of assets in the form of cars and homes go up by 40% in a short period of time. That's bubble behavior. And one of the things that I read in the comments constantly as I started ringing the bell, sounding the alarm, letting people know that we would pay the piper, there would be blowback, and the dust would settle from overheating the biggest asset class on planet Earth. The housing market this time is different. Last crisis in 2008 was due to loose lending practices. Well, guess what, friends? Your wait is over. Guess what happened in this bubble? Loose lending was occurring, friends. Listen, it was all the floodgates open. I worked in car sales in past life leading up to my becoming a real estate agent, which was my ultimate goal, and I was willing to do anything to get there. And a lot of people will start out maybe in sales jobs and then get into real estate eventually. It's a nice idea. If you're considering getting into real estate, it looks glamorous on social media, but if you don't have any sales experience, go get some. And the second biggest purchase people make in their life, a car, is not a bad place to start. But that is a shark-infested industry. I did not enjoy that one bit, but I did what I had to do. I went to work for, again, in real estate, I worked for the biggest brokerage on planet Earth. When I was in car sales, I worked for the second biggest Jeep dealership in California. I got into one of those super mega lots, and man, it was insanity. I was lucky. I worked internet sales, which means I wore a tie. I worked in an office. So I wasn't out on the lot, working the lot. But anyway, the other day, or not the other day, it was months back, I took my kid onto a lot, and we were kicking tires on he was interested. He wants a car. He's all about cars right now. And so I said, let's go check out some cars. These poor salespeople, desperate, guy, I'm like, listen, man, I worked in car sales for a long time to save your breath. We're just looking today. What's it going to take to get a deal done today? What's it going to take to get a deal? Dude, did you not hear me? We are just looking. Insanity. It's bad out there. Is your local car lot thin on inventory? I bet it's not. Leave it in the comments below. Bursting on at the seams with the inventory and crickets. There's nobody on these lots shopping. And guess what? The housing market isn't much different as we see the days on market now spiking. Inventory loading up. Price reductions is the name and the flavor of the month. The signs are all there, all the warning signs. But one of the things, we're going to cut to an article here in a second to drive our point home, because it's always fun to do, is one of the things I read in the comments is I'm a real estate agent. When I got lockdowns occurred, I was like, okay, how long can I survive on my other income because I'm not doing any real estate sales for a while. And then I was deemed an essential worker as part of the stimulus measures that were targeted at the housing market. Unfortunately, with limited inventory in a low interest rate environment, prices went parabolic, and then we kicked the can too far down the road. And then they were telling us all this was transitory, that all these supply chain kinks would iron out and everything would calm down. It didn't. Now we're stuck with sticky inflation. And even if we get it back down to the 2% target that we try to run at, it doesn't undo the run-ups that occurred. So it's just, there's no undoing this mess. Like I said, I'm a big advocate of our current leadership and the work that we're doing, but I know he's got cleanup on aisle 5. in front of him. This thing's not magically going away. Right now, we're in suspended animation. I was just talking to a good friend of mine, another huge YouTuber, Michael Bordenero, in Miami, Florida. Does a great job reporting on economics and the markets. And we talked about that. It's almost like the crash that never happened, right? But one thing's for sure. We've identified the top of the biggest housing bubble ever witnessed in human history. Why you ask? Of course, I'm going to tell you. Because it's not growing anymore. It's stopped. If your area is going up, it's a tick or two. It's basically flatlining. It's in suspended animation. And we're seeing a lot of local markets reversing course. You probably have seen. You probably don't need me to tell you that. But until it visits your neighborhood and you're forced to market with an upside down asset that won't sell what you bought it for, you don't care. That's just the realities. Those are the waters we're swimming in. And as a trained salesman, trained in the psychology of sales and the psychology of people, I saw FOMO and herd mentality play out in its purest form. And I couldn't just stand by and walk people off a cliff. I have to protect clients. That's my job. Because, always want an agent in better shape than their clients. You always want an agent willing to put your needs before their own. Good luck. Good luck with that. Most salespeople can't do that, and especially cars. But one of the things I was going to say is in the comments, I'd always say this time is different. The last crash was due to loose lending and this and that. It happened again, friends. Do you remember in the car bubble, people were walking onto car lots with their stimulus checks, and they didn't care about the purchase price. All they wanted to do was drive off in their new car. But now delinquencies and defaults are spiking. And those cars are underwater worse than people's homes. And the car market will go first before the housing market. It always works like that because you can get into a car much easier than you can a house. So you'll let your house will be the last thing to go, obviously, because you need your house more than you need your car for shelter. But car defaults and repos are spiking. And the reality is this, friends, loose lending was at play again, even in the housing market. I mean, I saw people getting put into loans and they really didn't qualify. They were pushing people into loans. It might have not have been ninja loans, no income, no asset type of, stated income stuff, but you were basing your qualifications on euphoric stimulated income, a couple tax returns during the crisis when everybody was making more money. Well, now that's not there anymore. People are running on fumes. But to drive our point home today, let's jump over to an article, then we'll meet back here and wrap it up. Let's get started. All right, friends, buckle up, strap in, roll up your windows, lock your doors. Here we go, an article from the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System from last September of 2024, titled Rising Auto Loan Delinquencies and High Monthly Payments. Delinquency rates on auto loans rose substantially to above pre-pandemic levels by the end of 2023, after falling to historical lows during the COVID-19 pandemic. Because auto loans are an important sector to consumer credit, accounting for about 25% of non-mortgage consumer credit. Accounting for about 25% of non-mortgage consumer credit, a deeper analysis of the increase in delinquencies can give insights into the financial health of borrowers in consumer credit markets and overall household financial well-being. Well, that doesn't sound good at all. Let's keep reading. In this note, we investigate recent trends in auto loan delinquencies and show that the increase in delinquencies is mainly concentrated in auto loans originated since 2022. We highlight the role of higher monthly payments in driving delinquencies and argue that larger loan amounts at origination rather than increases in interest rates explain most the increase in delinquencies. People overpaid for cars, friends. Let's keep looking. The increase in the loan amount likely reflects the interactions of both credit supply and demand factors. Borrowers demanded larger loans amid the run-up in car prices, from mid 2020 to mid 2023. And lenders in aggregate appeared to relax their credit standard to originate these loans. And there it is there, friends. Car lots were just lending to anybody with a stimulus check, and inflated prices were completely ignored by the borrowers, and now they're in deep, deep trouble. I think we get the gist of it. Let's jump back to the studio and wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back, and there you go. So obviously, the car market is in massive trouble. Another Frontline report. I was driving back from San Diego. I live here in Southern California. I was visiting my brother and attending an event. And on the 101 freeway, I believe, going through Los Angeles, there's a big Carvana, one of those Carvana displays. It looks almost like a vending machine with all these cars in it. It's this big tower with cars in it. It looks like a vending machine. And it's empty. There is no cars. Carvana is done, sucking air. That was part of the issue with this car bubble. You could buy these cars sight unseen, similar to the way we were trying to sell. Selling houses remotely, sight unseen. That is insanity. How would you make a purchase that big without seeing the house? And even if you did, you were told by an agent, listen,
it's competitive. It's a bidding war for this house. We're gonna have to not only overpay, we're gonna have to waive inspections.
You got to buy this house without even knowing the health and the fitness of this house. It could have a cracked foundation. It could need all new electrical. It could need all kinds of stuff that aren't visible to the naked eye. And you got to roll the dice. I'll do it. I'll roll the dice. Well, that's what happened with car lots. People rolled into these lots with their stimulus checks and walked out with the car. That is dumb. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a real estate guy that wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understand the waters you're swimming in now, they're shark infested. Car lots, welcome to the swimming pool. You're in the deep end. I used to actually not only be a real estate guy, I was a car salesman at one time. I know how it is. Get the deal done at any cost. And it was almost like that in the housing market too. We are suffering massive blowback. The car delinquency is just a prerequisite, a birth pain of what's coming to the housing market. I take no pleasure in communicating that to you today. I'm just a level-headed realist that understands that you cannot overheat the biggest asset class on planet Earth and expect it to sustain itself. And that's true for the second biggest asset class as well, cars. We saw that mismanaged. They were writing shaky loans to people that shouldn't have qualified, and their down payment was a stimulus check. It's all coming back. The chickens are coming to roost. My advice, and I'd never suggest anybody do anything that I'm not doing or willing to do myself. Insulate yourself in these times. Expect the unexpected. If and when a recession plays out, you'll be much more prepared. If you halfway expected it, you'll be able to operate within it much more efficiently, and you might even have the guts to go out there and play in that environment. That's why so many people are heavy in cash right now, because they see a storm coming. The perfect storm is in fact on the horizon, and the car industry is first up to bat. And that's why I'll be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.